Welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I'm Michael DeLon, and today I'm talking with Michelle Nedelec. I'm laughing because she is so much fun. There are few people in the world who laugh as much as I do and who are giddy as me, and Michelle is one of them. So, Michelle, thanks for being on my show today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. We were just talking about Willy Wonka and different things, but we'll discuss that later.
We'll let you in on the joke later.
That's right. So Michelle runs a company helping business owners automate, getting things off your plate, automation for all kinds of things. Because I work with a lot of small business owners, Michelle, and this is where we really struck up our conversation. That we're solopreneurs. We might have an assistant, maybe, but we're doing so many things. And I know in my business, I was the bottleneck for so many years until I got Caleb, and then Caleb took everything off of my life, and now he's running with it. And you help business owners unbottleneck their business, and that's what I want to talk about, because the services you offer are really amazing, and I think a lot of business owners could utilize them if they even knew they existed. So that's why you're here. So tell us just a little bit about who you are and how in the world did you get to doing this?
Well, I'll give you the short story because it can be a long one, but won't bore you with that. So I started off in about 2003. We started a public speaking company, if you want to put it that way. We were doing personal development. And as time went on from there, we discovered that people wanted online content. We had made an emphasis of making sure that we were local and we're there to support people, and they gave us the feedback, said, no, we want to go digital, kind of like what happened in the last year or two. So I started to go online, and I discovered that the tech thing, even though I'm a techie, was not appealing to me at all. So I actually have a programming degree. I actually know how to, type and speak and geek. And I didn't like it. It was not my forte. I just want to go out and speak to people and help train them and do my thing. So I happen to be fortunate enough to have a partner in business and pleasure, as we like to say, who is very geeky, and he loves to go into projects and figure out what kind of software people need, how the tech integrates, all that kind of fun stuff. He used to have contracts with big companies like IBM and Halliburton, that kind of thing. And he did my tech for me, which was delightful. I love that. And then we decided to pivot at one point, because we discovered that personal development didn't really translate online as well as it was doing face-to-face. Yeah. So we said, okay, I could teach people how to public speak. I could teach people how to do this. What do we want to do? And we decided to start an IT done-for-you services company, because we discovered that people really need help and they really want to get that stuff off their plate. Yeah. And what we found in the market was that people were either incompetent, incapable, or like they just too innocent. They just didn't know what they didn't know. And to have somebody like us come in and look at their marketing and their strategy and their IT and the setup, it was like the clouds parted and the angels sang. Like, where have you people been in my life? Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, we take all the headaches, because everybody sits there and stares at their email and goes, okay, I know I need to write something. Yeah. And then once they finally get through that whole, okay, I've written something, now it's like, well, now I got to send it to somebody. Yeah. Now I got to find that button. They hate finding those buttons. So I know it. We do it for them.
Well, okay. All right. So, and we're going to dive in a little deeper here, because really when the light bulb came on for me, when I was talking with Michelle the first time, is she makes like your different systems talk to each other and actually do their job. So, right. So you've got your database over here, and you've got your email marketing system over there, and you've got your social media platform over there, and your blog over here. And most business owners aren't, good golly, we're not techies. That's like a nasty word. And we don't even really want to do it, right? And so talk about how you make systems, actually, you can make different systems talk to each other and actually work, right?
Well, yeah, and what's even more miraculous, we can even get your marketing department and your sales department talking to each other and liking each other. I know.
No lies on my show.
No, you're just going way too out there. Okay, we'll back up the bus.
Try that again. Really? No. but that's the whole deal. Is so many times small business owners, especially, they do marketing, but they don't know how to follow up with anybody. And if they have a CRM, they don't even know how to use it usually. And all that data is sitting there, and there's money there, but they don't know how to do it. And God forbid you have to go out and buy another landing page program or something. And it's like,
So we started out with that because we didn't know really how to go online. So I hired a coach, which is kind of a funny story, because he's going, we need to go online. I don't know how to go online either, but if you pay me, I'll go and do these higher end courses and I'll bring back all the knowledge and I'll show you what they showed me. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. You go to work and come back, tell me what you found. That sounded like delegating to me, so I was right up there. So he comes back. We set up all the software that he had recommended. So we had, I don't even know the names, I'm sorry, of all this stuff. But we had our CRM, we had our shopping cart, we had our email, like we had all this stuff. And I affectionately refer to what was created as Frankenware. So Frank and I had this kind of on and off relationship. We were like, it was a love-hate relationship at best. I needed stuff done. It sort of did it. It sort of didn't. But every once in a while, Frank would lose an appendage and, an arm would fall off and an eye would pop out. Yeah. And Brad's getting really frustrated trying to maintain all this stuff because one would update and then all of a sudden the whole thing would fall apart and it wouldn't work. Yeah. Like nobody's ever experienced that before, right? That's right. You have tech support and it's like, oh, it's not our fault. It's their fault because you shouldn't have updated this and you shouldn't have put this software on. And we just enough. So then Brad discovered Infusionsoft. And for him, the clouds parted, the angels sang, and he was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Which I understand most people don't do because they're like, oh my God, this is super confusing. I don't want to do this. I know, right? I don't do it either. But Brad loved it because it integrated everything. So all of a sudden, not only is the CRM and the email and the affiliate marketing and your shopping cart all in the system. So there is no actual integration. It just is the system. Yeah. So you're not having to repair things. Updates aren't changing anything. Like, as far as I was concerned, because we had a membership site, Infusionsoft paid for itself because we no longer had to do accounts receivable. We no longer had to phone people and go, hey, your credit card is not working. I hate those calls too. And so, Infusionsoft just goes out and says, hey, your credit card needs updating. And you go, oh, okay, sure. And you update it. And it's not that big of a deal.
So, all right. So let's talk about that. It is awesome because we use Infusionsoft, right? And we're not power users by any stretch of the imagination, but we use it better than most just because we dove into it and understood it. But a lot of people would buy Infusionsoft or ClickFunnels or something else. And they get sold the bill of rights, right? Oh, look at all this stuff. And they're like, that's so cool. And they get in there and go, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. And they use it as a Rolodex.
Yeah.
So what you can do, Michelle, and your team, you could come in. Number one, you could actually consult with a business owner before they'd ever buy anything and say, what are you trying to do? Because Infusionsoft is awesome, but it's not right for everybody. And Michelle would say, yeah, don't do that. Bad idea. Mm-hmm. Or she could say, okay, here, you got this. Oh, by the way, Infusionsoft is a Lamborghini when you use it properly. Okay. Most people use like a VW Buck. And so Michelle can come in and at least make it a Chevy Malibu. But she can help you take that and go, what are you trying to do with your business? Oh, here's what you need to do. Here's why you need to do it. And here's how we are going to do it for you. Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
So again, a lot of people, and I did the same thing, right? We get sold the bill of rights or the sale of, oh, look at all the bells and whistles. Aren't they pretty? Look at all the stuff you can do. And you're like, oh, yay, that sounds awesome. Okay. And then you get it and it's like, hey, it's like buying software from IKEA. Some are similarly required. No. Right? Or they go, oh, it's in development. That's not ready yet. And it's like, what? Like, no, I need this to run my company. It's got to happen now. So yes, the whole gamut of it is a royal pain in the butt. And for as easy it is to go into business today, it's so much easier than it ever was before in history. There's this complication that comes with it. So how I separate things is there's two ways to run a business. One is super simple. You go out and you run a coaching program. You phone up your friends and go, hey, I'm doing this coaching thing. Do you know anybody that needs some help with this, that, and the other thing? And you get some referrals coming in, you sign them up, you're on the phone with them, you take their credit card number, you dial it in, do whatever you do.
Yep.
You can run $100,000 business that way easily.
Yeah.
10 clients, 10 grand. You are socked to it. Life is grand. You get to spend a lot of time on the beach. I'm just saying.
There you go.
There's not a lot of downside to this lifestyle.
Right, yeah.
So no matter what anybody says, you have to run $1 million business is not true, because a lot of people running $1 million businesses aren't taking home 100 grand.
That's
so,
right.
Just
because they have they have 1.2 in expenses. They never tell you that part.
Exactly. So I have no qualms about people running their business that way. And if that's the case, your CRM is also known as a smartphone.
Yes.
And it is awesome. You have everything you need at the palm of your hand. You need nothing else to run that kind of a business. Trust me.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's it. And it comes back to, what are you trying to create? Right.
Exactly.
And some people are saying, okay, great. That's not my business. I'm a financial advisor. I'm a attorney. I still don't get tech. I know I need it. And I need a CRM that communicates with my website, that communicates with my little chat bot doohickey thing that comes up, and post to social media and all of that. And it's so confusing, because here's what happens is most of them don't have an in-house marketing person. So they hire somebody else who tells them one thing. They have to buy a third thing, and they're stuck in the middle doing things they don't want to do. They're not techies at all. Most times they're not even marketing people. They're attorneys, they're finance, right? You have to take all that off the plate, right?
Exactly. Anytime somebody selling you software says it's really easy to use, run away.
That's right. Hang up really fast.
You shouldn't be running anything. You shouldn't be doing your tech at all.
Yeah.
So the biggest issue I see people getting into is there's basically 5 ways that you can get that task off your plate. And let's back up the bus a little bit. In my opinion, anything that's $15 an hour or less, you should not be doing. Period. And if it's not in your wheelhouse, you shouldn't be doing it, because you will notice that when you're in your wheelhouse and you're doing the thing that you do awesomely, you're probably getting about $1,000 an hour for the work that you're doing, which is exactly where you should be as an author, speaker, coach, consultant, whatever it is that you're doing. Even lawyers lawyering.
That's right.
When they're not doing their thing, they can be making a lot more money per hour. So their revenue generating activity is the thing that they should be focused on. So then they go and look for some help, and they go, okay, well, what do I do? Do I get a VA? What do I do? You can, but typically a VA is when people are looking at hiring somebody, they're going, hey, I'm just going to get somebody that's really inexpensive, and I'm going to push all my stuff off onto their plate.
Yeah.
Which is okay as long as you know how to delegate, and as long as you know what is on your plate and how to put it onto their plate, which most entrepreneurs don't know how to do.
That's right.
At all.
And so then the VA has to be one to take that stuff, because low-end VAs are good at running processes, not thinking about how to do things.
Exactly. They can do repetitive tasks. They can take your emails and checklists. They can make your travel arrangements, things that are repeatable and checklistable. They're very good at. The second one up is, as you mentioned, an experienced VA who does that for a living, or they're an organizer, and they're asking you for things. Oh, you want that done? Great. I'll need this, that, and the other thing from you, which is awesome. And we love them too. And they tend to be a little more per hour, let's put it that way, but you don't need to hire them for as many hours, because they're much more efficient at what they do. So they're awesome. Then they move up to the tech kind of version of a hired VA. And it could be your best friend's nephew's girlfriend, whatever. And she happens to know, she's an analytical thinker. She's good in computers. Awesome. But she doesn't have a clue how to run your business or what your software is. And you go, hey, go learn this and figure out how to do this. So you're paying somebody again to go and learn how to do the thing. And you're paying for them to learn. And that's slowing down your business terribly. Next thing they'll move up to is they'll go and hire somebody that actually knows that particular software and go, great, Entreport. Awesome. Here's my stuff. Here's what I need to do. Go do it. But they still tend to be very technical in what they do. So you've given them a job. They've done the job. They go, great, the job's done. Did you test it? No. Did you go and see if it works with my other stuff? No. You didn't ask me to do that, and you didn't pay me to do that. So now they go and do those things, and then they bill you more for them, typically. And if you have 5 pieces of software and you have 5 techs like that, now you have to sit in a room and try and figure out who knows what and what acronyms mean what and how to explain to them how to get this stuff working all together, which then makes you an IT project manager, which is, again, not what you do for a living. So it's probably not a good use of your time.
Yeah.
And then the 5th one is that you go to an agency model. An agency will typically have specialists in each piece of software that you're using. So we have specialists in Infusionsoft, in ClickFunnels, in WordPress sites, in all of these things that our clients have so that they integrate. And we act as the project manager. So we know what events you have coming up. We know that you're doing a book launch. Say, great. So we know that the graphics are going to match and they're going to go out to social media and they're going to go everywhere. And we're project managing that.
So let's get really down in the details. Financial advisors. I work with a lot of financial advisors. They're doing seminars, live seminars. They're doing direct mail out to get people to register for an event. Then they're doing email confirmations and phone confirmations up to the event. Then the event happens and they get 20 people in the room and they get, 15 appointments or whatever. And then between that night and the appointment, they should have emails and phone calls going out. And then after the appointment, because only 4 are going to buy, what are they going to do with the rest of them and all that? You can help them coordinate, manage all of that. So they're not having to do it, because most of them are hiring a third party to try to figure out how to even get the butts in the seats. Great. What are you going to do once they're in the seats and all of that? That's where Michelle and her team come in to go, no, we got the whole thing, because you don't have to do it. And oh, by the way, if you got 20 or 30 people in that room, those are buying units. They're all interested. Very few are going to buy today, but a lot of them are going to buy in the next 90 days, 6 months. What are you doing to keep in touch with them in that period of time? That's where Michelle and her team come in with the automation, not just email, but it's email automation to say, email to your team and say, hey, by the way, call John and Mary Smith. They were at your event 3 weeks ago and they haven't done anything yet. Call them, see what's going on. Send them this, right? That type of a thing.
Absolutely. So instead of having somebody come in just when you have an event, which then you have to kind of educate them on what is your business and how does your business work and what makes you unique, and you hope that they remembered half of the conversation when you're done and when you're going through this, and you go, remember when I said that at the first appointment? And they're like, oh, right. So it becomes very cumbersome to hire people to run events and things like that, just in the one-offs.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
No, the other thing that I see all the time is financial advisors hiring another kind of pseudo financial advisor dude who's young. So he's a techie. So he gets to run all the software.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Right?
It just happened.
Everybody needs a millennial.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah. Versus just cutting to the chase and saying, you know what? And the cool thing is, Michelle, I didn't know you existed until a few months ago. I'd never heard of anybody doing what you do. And I thought, oh, this is like too good.
Right.
That's why I wanted you on the podcast, because I have clients asking me all the time, because I've got Caleb. I don't know if you've met Caleb yet. Caleb's he's my
Oompa Loompa.
Everything. He's my Oompa. He does everything for me, right? He is my techie and things, because he has that unique ability to make it all happen. But most of my clients, our phrase is everybody needs a Caleb, because he takes things off of my place. He makes things happen. He executes. My clients are like, yeah, how do you do that? How do you find that Caleb? Well, I think I just found them.
Yay.
I think Michelle is actually the next Caleb for a lot of clients, because she can do all of that, and you don't have to train her on Infusionsoft or ClickFunnels. She knows it inside and out better than you do. And it integrates. Again, not that you have to have any of those systems, but Michelle's got ways in her team to connect the dots between whatever system you are using and any other system that you're using. 9 times out of 10, those two can talk to each other if you understand the coding, which is what she and her team can make happen, and say, oh no, we can do that.
We have a ton of fun. And oftentimes we found that people will overcomplicate their systems because they've been sold something. And right? Crazy. If I just buy enough software, it'll all come to life and start talking to each other. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did, but no, it doesn't. So we help to go into a company, and Brad's being the smarty pants that he is, can look at all of your systems, everything that you have from your phone, your email, we put this on a spreadsheet, we send it to Frank, we do this, and look at those systems and how they work for you, why they work the way they do, and is there any way that you can automate those systems such that everything that's duplicatable and replicable is being done by a computer system. Everything that is creative and unique is done by a human being. Yeah. So the problem we see time and time again is that you have human beings trying to do replicatable processes where they shouldn't be doing them because they tend to screw them up. They don't do them all the time. Whereas a computer, once it knows to go and do this, it just does it every single time over and over again. And when you need to go and do something unique, like talk to somebody and do problem solving with them, or, creative work, and how do you do that end of things, that requires a human being, because computers aren't really good at creative stuff.
That's right. Yeah. And there's so many things you can use a computer system, whether that's, and I'm going to default to Infusionsoft just because it's a really good, robust CRM, right? And if you're not using a CRM in your business, you need to be. And it could be as simple as your phone, but most businesses are a little bit more complex than that. and it's not like it's super expensive, but you take that and it can be used for outbound emails. It could be used for keeping track of birthdays and sending gifts, physical, email, whatever. It could be sent to a timing thing to say, hey, you haven't heard from this person for 9 months or 3 months or a month, whatever. Infusionsoft you can set all of that up. So basically, you sit down with business owners, you let them dream. Once you get all the systems figured out what they want to do, they say, okay, Michelle, I want to be able to stay in touch with my clients every 45 days in some form or fashion. I'd like some to be maybe an email, a newsletter, a phone call, whatever. How do we make that happen? And you go, we can make that happen. Done. I mean, it's really that simple, folks. It
really is.
It's a lot like how we create books for clients. It's that speak to write process, because you're the expert. We just ask you questions and you speak. Michelle does the same thing with technology. So if you're struggling with technology at all, whether it's email, CRM, websites,
any of it. Anything that has a button that you don't understand other than your wife, give me a call.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, it's not worth struggling with or trying to learn a new system or trying to like, I love your Franken system. What'd you call it?
Frankenware.
Frankenware. Because that's what we do. We try to bolt on a new system, hoping it solves something. And most time it just makes things more complex.
Yeah, it really does. And a lot of people think that Infusionsoft is expensive, and yet when we go and look at all our systems, they're spending way more to try and replicate it, and it doesn't replicate because it's not an integrated system. So if we look at the simplicity of, do you pay power to have your office lights come on and heat or air conditioning in your office? Okay, so it's a piece that you need in that business. Then you look at, well, yeah, but now we have to pay you to go and run it. Most companies will go, okay, I'm gonna, what's the expression? I'm gonna bite the bill.
Bite the bullet. I'm gonna bite the bullet.
Bite the bullet. That's it. And do this. And then they start to realize that they're getting things done faster, because what used to take them 6 months to contemplate, do I really want to do this thing? And then, it's like writing a book, right? I really should write a book. I think I can write a book. I'm going to prepare to write a book. And, eventually I'm going to be ready to be prepared to write my book.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, maybe let's get it done.
Exactly. So you get it done, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, all that stuff I was going to do is done. Well, now what do we do? And it's like, well, now you have an event. Now you have, like, what do you want to do? Do you want to speak on stage? Do you want to have challenges? What do you want to do to be able to bring people in? And, what's that dream project that you had on the go? Well, like, I do a mastermind, but I have to get a hold of so many people, and I can't do this and I can't do that. It's like, okay, well, that's set up. So now what do you want?
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
It really is, because what you just said there is exactly what happens in my company. Okay. So Caleb's role, my chief operating officer, right? Caleb, my son, he defines his role in the company as, I make Michael's business dreams come true. Yes.
Nice.
Because I come up with an idea. He and I talk about it. He's like, okay, I'll make it happen. Wow. And then about a week later, it's done. It's ready. The website's up, and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious.
It was an idea.
And that's what Michelle and her team help
Right?
you do is you
Yeah.
dream, you get it done. And I was like, now what? How are we going to put more people in the seminar? How are we going to do more webinars? How are we going to do more of this? What do you want to do? And you find that you get so much more traction. You're going to be more profitable because you're not trying to deal with technology.
Exactly.
It's just
I mean, one, the emotional stress that most people have when they think about, oh my God, I have to do that website. Like, if I could just put a picture up and, some text, it'd be fine, but
Yeah.
it never shows up the way I want it to. I don't know how that button works. I don't know what code I need to get that link to work, to get my,
Yeah.
like, it's the insanity. Even if somebody's using MailChimp and Eventbrite to run their organization, it's still a pain in the butt.
Yes.
It's the anxiety of having to deal with it, as opposed to going, hey, we're doing an event on Thursday. Can you send this email out? Yep, done.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. No.
there's no stress, there's no waiting. And the other thing we do that a lot of companies don't do is we triage our clients, meaning if your website breaks, you will have instant attention of our web guys and everybody that needs to be there to make sure that that gets up and running. And the people that, we have a few days to work on their stuff, well, we have a few days to work on their stuff. It'll get done. Don't worry about it. As opposed to a lot of agencies out there go, well, oh, you want this thing done? Okay, that'll take 3 weeks and we'll get it to you then.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I need it out yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
everybody needs everything done yesterday until it starts getting done. And then they're like, oh, we can plan. We can
Crazy.
plan. You
Yeah.
can. And so,
Well, and that's the thing I love about what Michelle does in her team is she's not out here to sell you a piece of software.
No.
She's out here to connect what you have or take apart some of what you have, maybe just say you really don't need that because this thing over here, it does what those two things do. If you just do it this way, it'll actually save you money. We have found that with Infusionsoft is that it's like, oh, I don't need that. Oh, okay. Wow. So she's this out. Yeah. You're like this outside consultant person who comes in and says, no, get rid of all that. Let's do this. Let's simplify. And oh, by the way, now what do you want to do? And yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it for you. That's the thing when you said, no, we do it for them. The light bulb came on. I'm like, really?
what? Well,
Yeah,
and we're even better than outside consultants because what we really want to do is partner with you
Yeah.
so that when you have an idea that you have kind of like a fractional CMO, which is me going, okay, here's a strategy, here's the marketing, here's how we're going to make it look pretty, here's the branding if you don't have any, why you need the branding, why you need that look and feel, how we can set that up for you if that's what needs to be done. If you already have that in place, awesome. And then you have a fractional CIO going, okay, if this is a project, this is a strategy, here's the audience that we're going after. Okay, those people aren't on Facebook, so don't do Facebook ads. Those people are looking at Google, so let's take those dollars and move them over to Google. And by the way, you want to word it this way so that they're interested in it.
Right.
Like all of these things that you don't know what you don't know. And it just really helps to have somebody on your team that is rooting for you because we're not here to make a dollar on, your Facebook ads. We couldn't care less. Don't do them. We couldn't care less.
Yeah.
What we want is for you to make money and for you to be successful so that you're doing the thing that you love to do and you can take it out to the world, which is where it needs to be.
That's all. That's awesome. Because the other thing about hiring agencies to do Facebook ads or whatever, which are all good and needed, is that's one aspect, right? They can drive traffic, but now that they get into your CRM system, what's going to happen with the follow up? Well, many times we don't do that. We drive traffic. We're a lead generation company. Oh, okay. I gotta go find somebody, and you get into that whole dumb thing again. Whereas with Michelle and her team, you bring them to the table, and they can do. I don't know if you can do all of it, but you can sure do a lot of it, right?
We can sure do a lot of it. So if somebody has, maybe they want to specialize in TikTok ads, we don't do that, but we're happy to work with the team too. And we can geek and talk about, okay, here's the plan. How you guys go and make it awesome on TikTok, whatever that might mean to them.
Right.
But we're working with them so that you still have that IT project management and you're not stuck trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about.
And to me, here's what find somebody to do TikTok ads, drive the ads to something that Michelle and her team are going to, a landing page that y'all can work on. And now from there on, Michelle and her team are there. It's just amazing to think about somebody out there who actually loves to do all this detailed work, loves to make systems talk with each other so that a business owner can focus more time, effort, energy on what they do best, because that's where they make their money. And have a centralized person, a chief financial officer, a chief technology officer, a chief marketing officer, whatever, all of those combined into one organization. It's really quite amazing, folks. So
You're singing to the choir. Well, and another thing that a lot of people don't realize is, say they have a Facebook dominant business. So you could have, 50,000 followers on Facebook, and that's in the group, and that's where you get all your business, which is awesome. But you don't own that content, which means that it doesn't contribute to the goodwill of your company if you were to sell it, and it's not an asset, which also means that if Facebook decides to shut down your account, you are SOL, which is not a great, fun place to be. Whereas if you structure it such that you're driving traffic to your website to collect their names and emails and things like that, and to get them opting in and giving them gifts and showing them the love on your website, you own that information. That becomes part of your company. And if Facebook shuts you down, you go to the
next one,
the next piece of software, whatever happens to be trending, you can go to, and you can migrate those people, and you're not losing all the traffic, because it's devastating when all of a sudden something goes awry. And it's not even that Facebook is malicious or anything like that and will shut you down, but if somebody gets hacked and they have to lock down the account, that's gone.
That's right. That's right. You've lost communication. That's why I always tell people your number one asset is your list. You own the list, and now you can market to them in 1,000 different ways. Who wants to do that? Well, Michelle does.
We do. We love doing that.
We do. So, that's what I told you at the beginning. She's giddy, right? She's giddy about what she does, and that's why I love it. So, Michelle, how do people get in touch with you? Because surely there are people out there listening to me who say, this is too good to be true. No, it's not. Go talk to her. Can
I give them presents?
Anything you want.
Awesome. So I would love to give you a website audit, which if you go to awarenessstrategies.com /web-audit, website-audit, it'll be in the show notes, I'm sure. We'll give you those. But you will get a 36 to 44 page, something like that, depending on the size of your website, a report on the green lights, yellow lights, and red lights. So just like traffic lights, green is go, you're getting traffic to your site. It's awesome. You're doing it right. Keep doing it. Yellow is, I don't think I'd be doing that. You're slowing down your traffic and it's not coming through as well. Red light is Google does not like this. They are not going to let that happen, and they're not going to let anybody go to your site, make that stop. There's a lot of things that in the 90s you used to do to websites that were awesome for SEO and conversion that are now quote unquote illegal by Google. And it's like, if you do that, they're just not sending you any traffic anymore. So you want to make sure that you're up to date with Google's, it's a little finicky.
Google changes things?
Right? Yeah, almost hourly. She's a little moody lately.
Was that website audit? So awarenessstrategies.com /website audit.
-audit. Yep.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Website -audit.
Website dash, I missed the dash. Website -audit. Got it. And this will be in the show notes, by the way, but awareness.
But we're going to go look at it right now because we're so excited about it.
awarenessstrategies.com /website -audit. And that's where you're going to get that. And that's really something a lot of people need to be, because most websites are, bland as butter, number one. But there are little simple things that you can do in your on your website. And Michelle's free report is going to show you how. And then, of course, that's going to be on your website, so that people know how to, reach out and schedule a call with you or something.
It is. So yeah, if you want to go through it, you have everything you need. You can take it to your peeps, whoever they are. And, whether it's, your nephew or whatever, give it to them, go, hey, go fix this stuff. Yeah. That's totally cool. Or if you want to have a consultation, I'm happy to go through it with you and say, what does this mean? Because there's some stuff on there like, oh, your STTP is broken. It's like, what?
Yeah. I had for a long time. Seriously, for a long time, my website wasn't secure. I didn't have a clue what that meant or how to fix it. Right? It took us a long time. It's like, oh, really? That's a big deal?
That's a thing.
That's a thing. Yeah. The one, when it's a big red X at the top of your website going, don't go here, not secure, going, that's not very good.
So, people are afraid to go to your site.
People kept telling me. So reach out to Michelle, awarenessstrategies.com, and then /website -audit for that free audit. Reach out, talk to her, see what she does. Take the technology woes off your plate. She can make you more money this year just by streamlining that whole technology thing, probably saving you money on your CRM and all that stuff. But just have that conversation. It is so very vital. I know the transformation we've had in our business since we've streamlined a lot of things and let technology do what it's great at. It's not great at everything, right? There is that human interaction that has to come in there, but let technology do what it can do. Save you so much time, so much headache, so much stress, so much money. Call Michelle, reach out to her, awarenessstrategies.com, and she'll take really good care of you, and you can thank me later. Michelle, gosh, always good to be with you. Thanks for a fun, vibrant conversation.
You too. This has been awesome. Time flies when I'm having fun.
It does. Yeah, it does. So next time we can do this from the beach and run our businesses on our phones. So how about that?
Love it.
All right. Take care.